Hey everyone, what's going on? This video will hopefully just be a quick follow-up video to these recent videos that I have put out, but I keep having synchronicities over and over, as I've said. Like, I could document synchronicities all day long. There's just so many things that happen, and I don't even have enough time to blog all of them, but I always try to blog the ones that I feel are the most important and the ones I'm paying attention to the most. But I posted this video last night called The Umbrella Symbolism, and I also put the number 218 and China in space, because there's this interrelated narrative that I am following that is somehow pointing me a lot to this date of August 6th, which is the 218th day of the year. And it's connected to Charles Manson and a bunch of other things. If you watch these previous videos, you'll have a better understanding of what I am saying. But I posted this video last night on Facebook, but if you actually go to the video, I made it on Sunday afternoon, and then I stopped a little bit, and then I finished it later that night on Sunday. And what's so interesting about it is, before I made this video, I went over to my parents' house, and I wasn't going to stay very long, but my sister and my nephew were there, and I had one of my kids, Zamian, there with us, and so they started playing whatever, and I was talking to my mom and my sister, and I don't know how it came up, but I have a fart app on my phone, and my nephew thought it was hilarious and started playing with it, and so on, and it then got us talking about old memories of high school or whatever, and I brought up this memory of a kid named Ben Monk that I went to high school with, and he used to break stink bombs in study hall and in class, and I remember the teacher always thinking that he shit his pants or somebody had shit their pants and whatever, and it was just, hilarious. And he was a midget too, so like, he had something wrong with his joints, and like his middle finger would get stuck sometimes and it looked like he's flipping people off. But moral of the story, we talked a decent amount about him or whatever, and he actually died, I think I wrote it on here somewhere, he died in 2013 or 2012, I can't remember what it was. Well, whatever, he died a long time ago, and he got in a car wreck or whatever, and anyway, I came back home and I made that umbrella video, and when I had stopped in the middle of it, I had noticed on my phone I had a notification on Facebook, and the notification just so happened to be someone commenting on the in loving memory of Ben Monk, this kid that I was talking about earlier in the day. And what's strange about it is that he actually died on January 31st, and yesterday, or the day I made that video, was 9/6, September 6th. And I was like, maybe 9/6 was his birthday or something, and I didn't think much of it. I did think about it, and I was like, I want to finish this umbrella video, and then I'll look it up. And anyway, when I finally did look it up, it turns out that his birthday just so happens to be on February 18th. 218, right? This number that I was talking about in my umbrella video. And, so it's just strange. It's strange that some random person would comment on his thing. He died, 8 or 9 years ago, and it wasn't even the anniversary of his death or his birthday or anything, so strange that someone would comment that. But I look it up, his birthday's 218. He just so happened his birthday was 201 days before that day too, and 201's been a real big number that we've been talking about with the Jesuits and so on this year, and Event 201 and how it syncs up to coronavirus, and the word Catholic in gematria equals 194, this other big number that I was talking about. And anyway, as I said, I discovered that his birthday, or his death day, was January 31st, 2012. And if you went from 9/6 to the day that he died, it's 147 days. And this instantly stuck out to me because August 6th, the 218th day, is the day that leaves 147 days in the year. Which means during a non-leap year, the day that he died was 218 days before September 6th, the day that I had this synchronicity. And if you write out his full name, he just so happens to equal these Charles Manson numbers that I keep talking about. 183 and this 261 number. Charles Manson, 261. Colin Rand Kaepernick equals 261. It's all about the kneeling during the national anthem symbolism and Charles Manson's helter-skelter theory about black people rising up, right? That's why they kneeled on George Floyd's neck. That's why George Floyd was connected to the twin symbolism. And in 2017, this was the big number I was talking about in regards to twin symbolism. If you check out these other videos, you'll understand more of what I'm saying. But what are the odds, a random thing like that? And then this kid's birthday just so happens to be 2/18. And the next day, I go to CNN, and of course, they have a story about China launching and recovering a reusable spacecraft, right? And it happened on Sunday, but I did not see this article whatsoever until the next day. So I just blogged about it, you know. It's pretty interesting because in this whole video, I talked about China and space and how there's something very important to the date of August 6th with this number 218 and how it syncs up to also Tisha B'Av. I talked about how Tisha B'Av, during the Chinese Year of the Tiger, it's going to fall on 8/6. And the word tiger equals 201, like how that's important to coronavirus and so on. And this year, or every year, International Tiger Day just so happens to fall on the anniversary of NASA. Also, I believe it was yesterday, I got this comment, which, it was on Monday, I guess. But I got a comment on my Charles Manson video. It was from this person named House of Israel that I don't recall ever getting a comment from, but I hadn't even uploaded this video or even blogged about what I talked about in this video yet. And they just so happened to mention how, they mentioned the number 218 and how it was important to Donald Trump's presidential alert, and it got moved from September 20th to October 3rd, which is the same day that the book The Stand came out, and The Stand's about the virus, and I talked about how The Stand was important to Charles Manson in this video, so I don't know, I find it interesting with as much as I talked about, Tisha B'Av being important to this narrative, and this person's House of Israel, and then I don't even have the video posted, and then they're talking about the number 218, It's just interesting, I don't know for sure, but I went and looked at their videos, and they posted old videos, of old, VHS tape-like videos, and one of them said, Traditions of Glastonbury, and it actually talks about Glastonbury, with the U-R-Y spelling, but I've talked about this before a lot in the recent years, too, like Glastonbury and King Arthur, and, how Kanye West announced that he's going to be running for president. And for years, since 2015, I've been saying how Kanye West was synced up to the death of Freddie Mercury, or the death of Freddie Gray, that was important to the death of Freddie Mercury, because Freddie Gray died on the same day that the movie Drop Dead Fred came out in history. And then later, on September 13th, the movie Freddy's Dead, the Nightmare on Elm Street movie came out. And of course, the first person to die in a Freddy Krueger movie was named Tina Gray. Then we had Freddie Gray. And then Kanye sang the Queen song at Glastonbury later that year, right? The Queen song. Freddie Mercury just so happened to die in 1991, I believe. It was the same year that Freddy's Dead and Drop Dead Fred came out, and then Freddie Mercury died later at the end of that year. But as the narrative went on, I pointed out when Kanye visited the White House, it was important to Fleetwood Mac and King Arthur and so on. And this year we get Kanye announcing he's going to run for president. Then Taylor Swift, right? The whole VMA thing. Keep in mind, too, in 2015, Wes Craven, the creator of Freddy Krueger, he died on the same day of the 2015 VMAs. But anyway, Kanye runs for president. Taylor Swift releases a new album. The next day, the sheriff in the first Freddy Krueger movie died. His name was like John Saxton or Saxon. And then one of the Fleetwood Mac players died on that same day. So Fleetwood Mac guy dies. A person in the Freddy Krueger movies dies. Keep in mind, in regards to the umbrella symbolism, in 2019, Taylor Swift also released a music video called Me, and it begins in France, and it's all about her floating around with umbrellas, right? And she even says, "Hi kids, spelling is fun," right? And think about that in regards to magic and how, gematria can be used, for spelling, and, it's just craziness. So it's absolutely synced up, but I don't know. It's interesting, Bobby Simpson even pointed out, now I know Zenith has talked so much about the number 218, but 138 seconds, 218, Trump equals 218, Donald Trump equals 138. If you go from 10-3 to 218, it's also 138 days. That's why Donald Trump had that presidential alert at the time of 218, such an odd time. Kind of like, the end of World War where it was 11/11 at 11, Yeah, numbers aren't important to most people, I guess, but anyway, I wasn't even going to make this video, but I was looking at my comments earlier today at work, and on the comments on this new video that I had put out, I just had some strange comments, like people just leave weird comments, and I don't understand half of them. I get just the strangest comments, And like this person wrote, kidneys, urinary tract infection, cycle, what in the world? Cyclone. And it's confusing because it doesn't really have anything to do with anything that I talked about in this video as far as I know. Maybe I'm missing something, I don't think so, but they wrote some other messages too that I'm just like, I don't get what you're talking about, But what's so interesting is the reason that I didn't post that video on Monday night was because I ate some cheesy potatoes and I started feeling like crap after that. And I just thought something was wrong with that food or whatever. And then I was going to post the video, and then my internet went out, and then I didn't have internet until I don't know what time. And I just finally decided, screw it, went to bed. Because I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just didn't feel that good. I didn't have the energy to do it. And then I finally was like, I'm just going to post it. And then my internet went out. And the next day, on Tuesday then, is when I finally posted it. But I'm trying to think, when did I post this video? Now I've lost in my own thoughts here. Yeah, I posted this on Tuesday, last night. I feel like today's Thursday for some reason, but I posted this last night on Tuesday night, and I told my girlfriend last night that back in March, I had a urinary tract infection. I don't know how a man gets a urinary tract infection, but like somehow I had one, and I felt awful. Like my back hurt, I hurt to pee, like my brain felt like it was spasming, like I was super dehydrated, I couldn't think or anything, and like I ended up taking some type of antibiotic that my girlfriend's mom gave me, and I never take medicine, like, ever. I don't know, I don't like taking pills and whatever else. I try to not even take Tylenol or anything, but I just couldn't do it. I just felt so terrible. And I told my girlfriend last night, I said, I feel like I have that again, my lower back hurts, like it's something with my kidneys, or maybe I have a urinary tract infection or something again, and I asked her if her mom had more of them pills, and then her mom was gone or whatever, so she didn't know or whatever. And I went to work today, and I was talking about it again, how I feel like I got a kidney infection or something of the sort, because I feel the same way that I did back in March. And, trying to tell everybody I don't have coronavirus because I don't feel like I do, but I'm starting to feel better too. I drink a lot of water, and I know you're supposed to drink cranberry juice or something, but it's just weird that I got a comment that says kidneys, urinary tract infection, That's pretty strange to even get a comment that says that, right? It's like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not calling this person out, but with all the other weird comments, it seems like a trolled comment. And then, you know, it's like, is my mind being read? Like, you don't even know back pain. Look at that. Back pain, back pay. Like, so strange. So, their name equals 195 in Francis Bacon. And like I said, this was another number that was important leading up to a lot of what I was talking about. But, like Houston, Texas equals 195. Rockets equal 195. Hindsight equals 195. Minnesota Twins equal 195. So, I haven't really been paying attention to this number near as much lately, but it was very, very important a few months back. And anyway, so I'm writing up this blog post about this comment I get with kidneys or whatever. I find it pretty strange. And it was right before I started writing this up. And I set my phone down and I looked up at the TV for a second and I hear umbrellas, right? And I'm going, the video I just posted last night is all about the umbrella symbolism. And my son, he's watching Peppa Pig, right? So I sat there forever because the TV never tells me the right episode. And it's confusing. There's like 5 episodes listed with Peppa Pig. So I figured out, and I found it on YouTube and found the exact scene and everything. The episode is actually called The Market. And you can find it on YouTube. It's right in the very beginning of this episode. But notice how the market in gematria equals 194 and 282? These same numbers that I've been talking about in the last 3 videos. Numbers synced up to Charles Manson. You know? It's interesting too. I mean, maybe not a coincidence or maybe a coincidence, but it's Peppa Pig. If you write Peppa, Peppa equals 186 in Jewish, and pigs equal 186 in English Extended. And remember, the Year of the Tiger, Tisha B'Av falls on the 186th day of the Year of the Tiger, which is August 6th. And this number is also important to all the space stuff that I was talking about. Elon Musk, his name equals 186, and he was born on 6/28, the day that leaves 186 days in the year. And that was a big number important to the Umbrella Man and Zach's channel getting deleted off YouTube and a bunch of other things. 186. And his channel was deleted on Elon Musk's birthday, right? 6/28. Should go back too really quick because the other night after I noticed this synchronicity with my friend that died or whatever, when I set my alarm to go to sleep, I didn't even know. I set my alarm. It just so happened to be 2:18 in the morning, and it said my alarm was set for 6 hours and 20 minutes later, right? 2:18, and then that 6/28 date. But anyway, in regards to Peppa Pig, and Peppa Pig was important too. On Tisha B'Av last year, or right around Tisha B'Av last year, Peppa Pig, I gotta find this really quick. Peppa Pig was in the news. Something to do with, not Tupac, but Suge Knight or something like that with Peppa Pig. Let me find it here. Well, I can't find it on my blog, but I wrote it in a recent post when I talked about the duck symbolism, but Peppa Pig's, it was during the Chinese Pig Year, it was sometime right around Tisha B'Av last year, in 2019, Hasbro bought Death Records and Peppa Pig. So, Death Row Records, Peppa Pig. And as I was scrolling down, I just realized something, and I never even put it together in regards to pigs, but think about Elon Musk in space, and we just got this story about Elon Musk and the Neuralink brain implant, how he used it on a pig. So there's definitely something important to pigs with this. Remember, Monograph, the Umbrella Man, right? So Zach launched All for Truth, and it used the umbrella logo. And then a week and a half later, Monograph, who was the umbrella man, made a video telling Zach he needs to watch out for Christmas Eve, and then a car crashed into his house on Christmas Eve. A few weeks later, my uncle died in a strange, truck wreck, and he died at the Jesuit hospital and much, much more. He was a Knight of Columbus, and he died in connection to the Knight of Columbus anniversary, and this was a big year, too. 2017 was that big year I was talking about with the rockets and space and so on, and that was also the same year that SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, I think they made history by launching and reusing a rocket in March that year, which was part of the reason why I thought maybe there was something important to the Houston Rockets. I also talked about a space moon theme, and then we got the death of Eugene Cernan, the last guy to step foot on the moon, and he died in January. And then John Glenn had also died around that same time, so there was this major space theme that was going on. But the Umbrella Man also made a video 166 days after my birthday in 2017, and the video was about the number 166. And my uncle who died, his name equaled 166. He was important to the Flintstones that aired 166 episodes and a bunch of other things. Like, he gave me this Dan Marino football jersey that was in a roundabout way showing me that the Falcons were going to be in the Super Bowl. But moral of the story is all about the number 166. And I was talking about the angel Gabriel and how my name is Daniel, and Zachary K. Hubbard, his name is Zachariah. And in the Bible, the angel Gabriel only talks to Zachariah, Daniel, and Mary. And I even wrote to Zach right before that how I wonder if there's going to be something to do with the truth seeker named Mary that comes up. And the next night on his Gematria Effect show, this lady named Mary Toffelmeyer called in, and she said that she was Monograph, or the Umbrella Man's next victim, and she said that he was trying to kill her pet pigs, or her pet pig. And what was interesting is that I was sitting on the couch next to two stuffed animal pet pigs that my daughter had told me to watch when she went to bed, and she called them her pets. They were her pet pigs. And this lady calls in named Mary, and she even has like her YouTube picture was a picture of pigs, right? And her name equals 166 in Gematria. And the word pigs equals 166 in Gematria. So there's something important to pigs and how it syncs up to this umbrella symbolism. I don't understand it all, right? But last year, I learned all about Francis Bacon Gematria, and I thought it was interesting that, I was talking about this umbrella symbolism again, and then Zach got his live stream hacked, and I was thinking about the Chinese pig year and Francis Bacon, right? Bacon and pigs and so on. And we were talking about how it's a part of Tisha B'Av, so there's definitely something going on with pigs. I also mentioned how Iowa, where I live, is very important to pigs. Iowa is the leading producer of pigs, right? Or pig farms. And interesting, this Soulless Looper guy, he also wrote a comment about farming. So I don't know, maybe that's a coincidence, but it's pretty weird. It's just like he wrote a bunch of weird words, and it was like farming and farm something, but what's interesting about me saying this is that Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, just so happened to be in the town that I live in today, too. I never talked to her or anything, but she went to Bonsel's TV and then went to the Dairy Suite to get a pork tender, pork, and who knows, That's what they're known for there, is their pork tenders. At one time, it was like the number one in Iowa or something. I can't remember, years back. So it's just interesting, pork and pig and, the Iowa governors and the town of 1,000 people that I live in today. And that's synced up to China because the reason she became the governor was because the former governor, Terry Branstad, he stepped down to become the ambassador to China for Donald Trump, right? Iowa, China. Last year I talked all about Slipknot playing for the first time at the Iowa State Fair, and it was really important to the narrative with Tisha B'Av, and the next day after they played at the Iowa State Fair, a man from Zion, Illinois died, and Zion is Israel. Think about Israel, Tisha B'Av, and then, think about the comment I got about 218 from the channel House of Israel. But Slipknot, also important to the pig symbolism, because Slipknot's only member to die was named Paul Gray, and his alias in the band was the Pig, right? That was his one of his deals. He was the Pig. So there's something very, very important to it, right? The Pig. Charles Manson, also, they wrote Pig, right? After they did the murders. I don't understand the full meaning of it, but Pig is very important. And so I just was thinking about it with China and how there's something important to it, and we're now in the Chinese Year of the Rat. And if you read out Year of the Rat in Gematria, it just so happens to equal these Charles Manson numbers. 194, 282, 234. Also 142, like coronavirus. Think of how coronavirus supposedly came from China. If you go back to November, there's even a story about the bubonic plague in China, because they were kind of building us up to something going on with it. They said these people got the bubonic plague. There was also the South Park episode called Shots, where Cartman would turn into a pig every time the doctor would try to give him a shot, right? And this was right after South Park got banned in China, and right after the Houston Rockets owner called out China. You see how this is all interrelated? Cartman turns into a pig during the Chinese Pig Year. He's going to get his vaccine. Think about the vaccine, and then, coronavirus begins in the United States, and Seattle has the Space Needle. I mean, there's something very, very important to it. I can't piece it together, but you'd have to be crazy to not understand that there's some type of narrative with what I'm talking about. And anyway, August 6th, this big date that I talked about in that last video, notice how the 194th day of the Year of the Rat just so happens to be August 6th, the 194th day. It's pretty interesting. So Year of the Rat, 194. August 6th, the 218th day is the 194th day of the Year of the Rat. It's funny, too, because in a lot of stuff, I talked about the Cleveland Indians a whole lot over the years, and the curse of Rocky Colavito. I'm just going to throw this out here, because maybe it is connected to him somehow. But, I know, he wasn't born on August 6th, but he turned 86 years old. What year was that? He turned 86 years old, I believe, on Tisha B'Av last year, right? Yeah. He turned 86 years old on Tisha B'Av last year. And there was something important to 86 with him. It's interesting, too, because I have a whole video. Let me find it here. Go back. I have a whole video where I talked about the Kanye West stuff and how it was synced up to the number 86 when he went and visited the White House. And I talked about Slipknot in that video. I said this is going to be a short video, of course. It's not a short video at all. I'm discovering things, Joe, but just by going through here. Yeah, the 86 connections to the World Series. I'm going to have to go back and look at this video. Huh. Fleetwood Mac. Huh. Anyway. The last thing I want to bring up, and then I'm going to end the video, but next year will be the Chinese Year of the Ox. And Year of the Ox also equals 194, 282, and 142, right? So, coronavirus 142 is connected to China. There's something very important to China. I don't know what it is. Terry Branstad, too, the former Iowa governor, his name equals 186, right? That number reported to Elon Musk and the Umbrella Man. I know I put it in here somewhere. He's also a Freemason, and the only reason I bring that up is because when he became the ambassador to China, it was kind of a deal because he was a Freemason, and Freemasonry is actually banned in China. So, you know, it's pretty interesting. And I mean, you can look it up. Just look up Terry Branstad, China, Freemasonry, or something like that, and you'll find, you know, there was articles about why Donald Trump chose him, considering he was a Freemason, and Freemasonry is banned in China. So, Kim Reynolds, the Iowa governor, her name sums to 145, and her birthday is August 4th, the same day as Barack Obama. We'll just type it out here really quick. Got all these pulled up, but her name's 145, like Catholic. She's born on 8/4, the big Jesuit number. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. I don't know. I need to think more on it, but just wanted to point out these weird synchronicities, you know. Strange comments. Look up at the TV. There's, you know, the first thing I see is umbrellas, Peppa Pig. The episode's even synced up. You know, pigs, China. The Iowa governor is in the town that I live in today. I wish she would have came to the gas station I work at, you know. I want to ask her some questions. Probably wouldn't have, though, you know, just because I'd probably get fired or something stupid. Because I talk about this stuff all the time and people just go, what? You're too smart. It's like, I can't believe you can't get something. I mean, this is a little more difficult, but man, I could make it very simple, and they just don't even want it. They don't care about it. That's the thing. They might find it interesting, but they just go, well, I don't get it. I don't know what you're saying. It's like, man, go vote for Donald Trump, I guess, because everyone around here loves Donald Trump, too. You can't even, I swear, I don't know what it is. I mean, people love Donald Trump around here. It's craziness. But, like, my sister has a mask that says Trump 2020, and I'm like, don't you get that both sides are, you know, butt buddies? Like, it's so stupid, but whatever, done rambling. Have a good one. Peace. So I'm actually in the process of uploading the video that I just finished, or this video now, but I'm going to cancel it, and I'm going to add this piece to it, because I should have went and watched Zenith of the Alpha. He just made a video in response to my umbrella symbolism video, and he's noticed this pattern with guns and roses and rain and roses, and he's mentioned it a little bit before, but what's really interesting is, in regards to rain, the day that I uploaded this video, it literally rained the whole day here, and it hasn't rained like pretty much all summer, and it was like freezing cold yesterday. It went from being like 100 degrees out to like this freezing cold rain, like just, yeah, I don't know, it felt like, you know, almost sleet. It was so cold yesterday. And it's just funny that he's talking about this rain theme and how it syncs up to guns and roses and so on. And what's even crazier is that if you write out Axl Rose and Francis Bacon gematria, Axl Rose equals 186, this big number I'm talking about, and Slash's real name, Saul Hudson, also equals 186. But the biggest piece that I noticed with this is that the last album that Guns N' Roses have put out just so happens to be called Chinese Democracy. Now, what are the odds? Chinese Democracy? This album's actually banned in China. Right? And think about the Hong Kong riots last year, and think about what I just said about South Park being banned in China, and how Daryl Morey, the Houston Rockets general manager, tweeted about China. So it's absolutely what I'm talking about is absolutely synced up to China somehow. You know? It's craziness. I'm definitely going to have to look more into this. You know, I don't know that much about Guns N' Roses. I should know a lot more than I do, but I don't. There's also some other things that he's talked about before, such as the movie Apocalypse Now, which I read about it, but I've never watched the movie. I've never even seen V for Vendetta before. I just sort of know what it's about. So some of the things that he has told me to check out, I actually will have to do some like in-depth research and actually watch some of the films and whatever else because I just don't know that much about it, but pretty interesting stuff. But like I said, I just wanted to add that piece in here because what are the odds their last album was Chinese Democracy? You know, I know I saw a Facebook comment a while back of a picture of Axl Rose and some girl saying that she wished that men would look like that or whatever, and then his old self commented and she didn't believe that it was him or something. I'll have to look for that too, but whatever. Don't want to keep rambling on, but I just, this type of stuff just makes me laugh like crazy. But have a good one. Peace.